thanks for stopping by. I have a package I would like to show you, and it is for my Pomale wood stove. And let's open this puppy up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, these guys are bricks for the fire, or for inside the wood stove. The fireplace bricks, but they're also for wood stoves. 4.5 inches wide, 4.5 inches this way, 1.25 inch this way, and 9 inches long. So the goal is that they're going to go inside there. That will be nice. Let's pull these guys out. Yeah. Brick. 6 bricks. Okay. Put one on this side here inside, one on this side, one at the back, and maybe a couple on top. This way, when the fire goes out in the evening, the heat will continue to radiate afterwards. Because one of the things about this stainless steel stove like the Pomale, it heats up really fast, which is great, but it also cools down once the fire goes out quite quickly. So to combat that, let these guys get heated up, and they'll work for me maybe an hour longer afterwards, which is all good. Let's see, is it long enough? Oh no, it's gonna have to be cut down. Anyhow, I guess it's a false alarm. I'm gonna have to cut these down tomorrow. Left a little piece behind. So I can put one in the back, that's okay. And I'll put one on either side, to the right and left. I'll have to cut it down, probably take 1 inch off. A couple on top of the stove and see how they do. One there, and put one on top of there. Just sit there, and the fan sits on top of that. That's a little bit of a bummer. Couldn't get that to put those in tonight, but tomorrow I'll cut those guys and make them fit just right. So tonight, still do a test burn with those 3. See how they work out. I did a mark right here on the inside of the brick versus the stove, and gave it an extra little pinch. And now I'm just gonna mark along there, and then I'm gonna repeat this with the other brick. It's going to match for the opposite side. Line them up. And draw the same line that matches. And with that, I'll take out the angle grinder and cut these bad boys. The second one's a little cleaner on the side. First one, a little bit of a ding. That's all right. Nice. All the ashes fall through this grate, and then there's this little tray that collects them all. If this tray is not closed properly, you'll have a little trouble shutting the door, because the door just overlaps a little bit. So it's nice. That is looking good. I've turned the top bricks on edge so more heat can get up that way, and I've turned the ones on the inside, I moved them out and tilted them a little bit so there's a gap behind them. They're leaning against the back brick, and we'll see how it does. Well, here we are again. A little chilly. Check the thermometer here, and it appears it is 39 degrees inside the van. Last night, I stood the blocks on top, the fire bricks. The van heated up unbelievably fast. Within 10 to 15 minutes, it was very warm and very comfortable. I don't know what the temperature was. I didn't check. But compared to the other night, the first night, where things was 40, 45 minutes at least, it was a big difference. And so the fan didn't even go for like the first half hour. Right now it's been like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and the fan has already started. So the bricks are phenomenal for absorbing heat that they can then release later. However, laying flat on top, it definitely influenced how much hot air was able to circulate. Because otherwise the fan is sucking cold air from the back behind it and pushing it forward. Not good. Because then you're just getting mediocre heat at best going this way into this part of the van. So I wasn't a fan of that. This close to the stove, no heat. I'm literally less than an inch away, no heat. I can't feel any heat right now because of the block, the fire block inside, the fire brick, and how it's holding the heat. Side heat isn't as much of a concern as far as an object or some plastic or material being affected, because the fire bricks, man, they are absorbing the heat unbelievably. Well, good morning. This is the morning after the bricks, and I gotta say, they worked really good. The heat worked fantastic once I stood them on edge, because once they're on edge, the heat could go up to the fan, which I had sitting right here. It would heat up quite good. Lots came off the top, lots came out the bottom or the front. None goes out the back normally anyhow. And the side, very little heat came out at all. I could barely feel anything because the inside bricks. So next is to think of, if they do so well at holding the heat and it's not getting out the sides of the stove like it normally would, then when the fire goes out, is the heat radiating enough to come out the glass in the front and out the top? Or is it going up the chimney and outside? So that's the only concern. Are the bricks actually delivering a better heat scenario? We know they absorb it. We know they block it from going out the sides. And they blocked it from going up because it took so long for the fan to actually work. Normally 6-7 minutes, and the fan is activated from the heat through the top of the stove. But that first night when the bricks were on, it took nearly 45 minutes. So the jury's out a little bit on the bricks. They're helpful to the sides, no problem there. Whether they produce more heat later in the evening, I cannot say. But I will say I will continue to use them for a little while. And that's the best we got for today. So that's it for the fire brick experiment. On another note, I'd like to tell you about, I was looking into getting a dog for the van. What kind of dog, you ask? Well, I saw an ad and the guy was talking about his dog was super smart. Come on over, contact him and learn more. So I did. I reached out. So I go to the guy's place and I knock on his door and he comes out and I say, hey, it's me. I'm the guy who called. I'm interested in knowing more about your dog. And he says, he's the smartest dog you'll ever meet. Hands down. Just go in the backyard and basically ask him anything you want. So I go, ask him anything I want. The guy says, he's a talking dog. Go ahead, ask him anything you want. Talking dog? What do you mean talking dog? He barks once for yes and twice for no? Like that? The guy says, just go back there, ask him anything you want. You'll be impressed. So now I think this is a little weird, but I've come this far. Now I'm curious. I go for it. I go to the backyard. I open the gate. The dog's on the other side of the yard. He walks right over, sits right at my feet and looks up at me. That's pretty cool. So I looked down at the dog. I didn't know what else to say, so I just said, are you a talking dog? The dog said, yeah. I was like, what? The dog said, when I was a puppy, my master watched a lot of TV. I just picked up the words and I got better. I was flabbergasted. I said, you watched TV and you picked up a lot of words? The dog said, well, once I got good, he took me down to the local police department. And the police learned what I could do, and they trained me. And then I got to work in prisons and in courtrooms. And then the FBI and the CIA found out what I could do, and then they trained me. And I traveled all around the world. I worked against terrorism. I worked against the cartel, all kinds of crazy cases. And then I got too old, and now I'm retired. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. So I go to the guy at the front of the house again, knock on the door. He opens the door, and I say, how much are you asking for the dog? The guy says, 25 bucks. I say, 25 bucks? How come so cheap? The guy says to me, that damn dog's a liar. And now you know a little bit more about talking dogs. Anyhow, I hope you got a smile on your face over the holidays. And for Christmas Day, I'm going to release a special video, and I hope to see you then. Cheers. Have an awesome day.